Respected Professor Dr. Minikuti A., Head of the Department, School of Pedagogical Sciences, General Convener of the webinar, Dr. Muhammad, Convener, Dr. Ismail Tamshiri, Coordinator, Dr. Sibuji Netto, Organizing Committee members, Professor T.V. Tulasidaran, Professor Jaya Jays, and Professor Asha JV, and most respected participants of the webinar. A very warm good morning to all of you. You are all enthusiastically attended the last 3 days sessions of the webinar on gender bias and stereotyping, gender equality and women's rights, organized by School of Pedagogical Sciences, Mahatma Gandhi University. I am Dr. Sajna Jalil, Associate Professor, School of Pedagogical Sciences, Mahatma Gandhi University, and I am chairing today's session. Today's session is on the topic gender bias and stereotyping, and the speaker of the day is Dr. T.K. Anandi, Gender Advisor to Government of Kerala. Dr. T.K. Anandi is native of Tarakkad village at Palakkad district, Kerala. Dr. Anandi obtained her PhD from the University of Kerala on the topic Bhu Udama Bandhathil Vanna Mattavum Antarjanangalude Munnettam. She has conducted a study on interprofile in Kerala for Women and Child Development Department under the Ministry of Human Resource Development based on 2001 census. She did her postdoctoral research on the topic Participation of Women in India's Struggle for Freedom. Dr. Anandi's latest book, Feminism and Marxism, is published by Samada. Dr. Anandi is currently associated with Kerala Shastra Sahit Parishad. She is the president of the Society for Working Women Development. She is member in Women's Policy Making Committee of Kerala State. Other published works of Dr. Anandi are Veethamma Oru Stree Vishesham, Janakiya Samarathil Malabarinte Pen Padagal, and Stree Samuham Shastram. On behalf of School of Pedagogical Sciences, Mahatma Gandhi University, Madam, I welcome you to the webinar. I would like to welcome all the eminent personalities, researchers, and scholars to the session by Dr. T.K. Anandi. With this, I am handing over to Dr. T.K. Anandi. Madam, please.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, madam. Yes, yeah. Madam.
Thank you very much, and good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
I'm very happy that you are conducting such a such a seminar. And also, what I feel is that once the COVID time has started, our intellectual seminars have increased in number quite a lot. Unlike earlier, we may need some fund and fund allocation, and need a GO, go to the department. All these things have to be done, and national seminar or international seminar or whatever it is. Now it is very easy. So I'm very happy that I'm participating, and thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. Should I talk in anybody who cannot follow Malayalam, because I'm sitting in an office where Madhur Bhasha, Bharana Bhasha.
Madam, this is person. All the research persons are from all over India and also from abroad.
Okay. Then it's okay. No problem. Come on. You the boy. The boy.
കേൾക്കാം മാഡം, കേൾക്കാം. കാണാൻ മാഡത്തിനെ കാണുകയും ചെയ്യാം.
എനിക്കൊന്നും കാണുന്നില്ല. Okay, whatever it is. See, the topic given to me, see, we are going through a very bad time. Rather, never in my last 57 years, I have gone through such a time. Because both socially, economically, people cannot even see each other, touch each other, talk to persons, touch persons, share your love. Nothing is possible now. So only we are seeing the virtual reality, seeing people and hearing voice. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Continue. Yes, madam.
Yeah. But I cannot, I am just talking to the mobile. That's all. Nothing is visible here.
Madam, you can continue. We
Yeah.
can see you. We can see you
Okay.
and we can see you and audible also.
Okay. Uh, so we are going through such a very bad time. Hope we will overcome all these things because we have overcome a lot of other hurdles. So like that, we will be overcoming this also. See, the topic given to me is stereotyping and gender bias. We all know that we are living in a society where gender bias is very much rampant. In the sense, when we talk about gender studies, we are only talking about women. We are only talking about women studies, and gender means women as far as Kerala is concerned. I don't know about the other places. The problems of men are also being discussed in other states, other internationally. But here, I think we are most of the time we are when we talk about gender, we are talking about women and their issues. Earlier, we had another word for this, that is women issues, woman question, that was coined during 1960s. Through woman question, when we coined the name woman question, we were only talking about the same stereotyping and same gender bias. Then we realized that even in various disciplines, academically and also out of the academic field, we have quite a lot of areas where gender bias exists, and we try to find out why this gender bias. It was quite evident when we wrote that report on equality. I think you all know the history behind this coining of the word woman question, rather. I think very briefly I will explain that. It was in late 18th century or early 19th century that the question of woman, or the woman question has been discussed, especially at the time of enlightenment period. We came to know that anything can be questioned, anything can be questioned with rationality, because till then God was creating all this. God, the belief was that God has created all these things, the universe, and nobody can question God. But when science was introduced with Newton and others, uh, people started thinking that science can question whatever, or science can do whatever God can do. So we replaced science with God, and started believing that scientific temper and rationality, rational thinking will help us to go forward. And new society was envisaged by people like Socrates, people like Diderot, Rousseau. All these philosophers started thinking about a new society where they started thinking about how a family should be in a new society, what will be the role of a woman in the new society, what will be the role of role of children, what will be the role of a man, and such things were discussed. First time the question of family comes, and there comes the question of woman. So even now, I am a person who always used to tell that the present type of family should be abolished. Then only the woman in the family will get released, and will be liberated. But the very early time onwards, women were related to the family, and with family only women were discussed. Then they started thinking, or they started discussing about woman in the family. So why should she be given given education? So even if she is given education, why should she be taught geography? Why should she be taught geometry? Why should she be taught arithmetic? What she wants to know is cooking and taking care of the household. So that education is more than enough, because even there were people who were telling, scientists and doctors who were telling that if no more knowledge is given to her brain, it will affect her uterus. Even things like that were discussed. Can you hear me?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Okay.
Yes, madam.
So even those
Madam,
pardon?
മാഡം ഫോൺ മാഡം ഒരു സ്ഥലത്ത് വെച്ചാലേ അതൊന്ന് ഷേക്ക് ആവുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ ഒരു സ്ഥലത്ത് വെച്ചാല് മാഡത്തിനെ കാണുന്നില്ല, സൗണ്ട് ആണ് കൂടുതൽ ഓഡിബിൾ. അപ്പൊ ഒന്ന് വെക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ കുറച്ചും കൂടെ നന്നായിരുന്നു. യെസ് മാഡം. മാഡം ഇപ്പൊ കാണാം.
I can also see. One second, I will put the
Yes, perfect, madam. Perfect.
earphone. Close അവിടെ വെച്ചു. Okay.
Okay, okay, madam.
അവിടെ ഇങ്ങനെ ഇരിക്കാം എന്താ പറയാൻ തോന്നുന്നു വിചാരിച്ചിട്ട്. എനിക്ക് കാണുന്നില്ല. Hello. Hello.
Hello, madam.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes. Clearly audible, and I can see you also.
Hello.
We can see you also, madam.
Oh.
Audible. You are audible, madam. You are audible. You are audible, madam.
Yeah. So, as I was telling you, science was invented, and Newton's law, things like that have started questioning God, and we started feeling that anything can be questioned with rationality. So in that time only, the family was first discussed, and women, what will be the role of women in the society was first discussed, because society was a new society was envisaged, and in the new society, what will be the role of women, what will be the role of family, what will be the role of children, what will be the role of men, etc. were discussed. And in that, along with family only, that's what I said, when she has to be given education, what type of education she should be given, why should she be given mathematics and science and all those things. She can be given only things like home management and cookery, etc. Such discussions and debates were taking place for more than 10 years. And as a result of that, Mary Wollstonecraft has given the her first mitigation of rights, where she has said that whatever, and feminists during that time were telling that whatever you think under your hat, we also think under our cap. So our brain is more or less the same. Then there was a question of size of the brain, things like that, because they wanted to insist that there is bias in biology, there is bias, there is stereotyping which has to be reinstated. So they started fighting to prove that she is different and she is inferior. So for that, they used all sorts of methods like biological determinism. Janet Sayers is the person who has written a book on biological determinism, where they said that the craniometry was new. Science also has developed with the use of craniometry and phrenology, etc. They started telling that the brain of a woman is different from that of a man. It is small in size. That also has been proved by taking the brain of what is it called, the skull of a woman and a man, and they proved that the size is the same. And might is right was still another thing, and that also has been proved, because we have Amazonian women whose might is better than that of an Indian, our local man. So naturally, might is right was questioned, and proved to be wrong. Biological determinism was proved to be wrong. And again, the society was moving with the bias against women. So this continued for a long time. During 60s, we have quite a lot of feminisms emerged in the country. I mean, in the not only the country, globally, various types of feminisms have developed, questioning this bias and stereotyping of women. For example, we have radical feminism, liberal feminism, uh, then socialist feminism, Marxist feminism. Quite a lot of feminisms have emerged. Now we have postmodern feminism also. Now, at present, recently I was just going through it. We have 311 types of feminism, including Amazonian feminism. So we have quite a lot of. During 60s, it started questioning the stereotyping and the bias against women. Then they coined the word gender. I mean, not then, not during 60s. During 60s, they started discussing about the stereotyping and how we can escape ourselves from this stereotyping. And bias was questioned. And then we were really, even then during 60s we were talking about sexuality, her role inside family, her role as wife, her role as a mother, etc. were discussed. But in the academic field, we started discussing about this only during 80s. For 20 years, we were discussing which type of feminism is right, what women should do, what should be the role of women, what different types of acts women do. For example, I like Simone de Beauvoir, who has said that no child is born as a boy or a girl. She or he is becoming a woman or becoming a man. So such things, which Judith Butler has now revised, telling that we are performing the role that has been given to us by birth. So things like that. Before Simone de Beauvoir, our feminine mystic was written by Betty Friedan, who has questioned the double burden women do. In that, she's an American, and she was telling that she has given the name double burden and also given the name for the household work as, or that the household work she has given as woman question, and for the woman question she has given a word. Uh, an affair which has no name, work which has no name. No, there is no name for this double burden. There is no name for this question. There is no name for the type of work women do. So, problem with no name, she has given, petty freedom. Even now, we are suffering from that because even yesterday, I was giving an online class for the NEP. Again, I mean, about NEP for the AKGCTA people, teachers. And it started around 7 o'clock and it went on till 8:45, like. And when I said 7 o'clock, immediately what they said is that madam, a little bit early, around 6 o'clock. Why? By 8 o'clock, they have to give food to the husband. They have to give food to serve food to the children. So when we had seminars, we have seen teachers, including teachers who go back home or no, they start packing their bag and etc. by 4:30 when we take classes. When we were lecturing, they used to pack the bag and all. Not only teachers, all the any woman, whichever group it is. So then we know that oh, the time is 4:30 or 5 o'clock. They have to go back home. In the sense, time. Is there any gender bias in time? There is. We have conducted a survey and we found out that, when the child says, Amma, I'm going home, I'm going out, I'll be back only late. What will be the time of a girl? The time is 6:30 maximum or 7 o'clock. When the boy says from home, Ma, I am going out, I'll be back late. Sometimes he will come back, 10 o'clock is the limit. Sometimes he will come back, sometimes he will ring up and say that, Ma, I am staying with my friend and I won't be coming back. So even in the time we have bias. We have, even this time we have stereotyped in such a way that, 6:30 is her timing and 10 o'clock is his timing. When are we going to stop this business? What if the woman also or the girl also says that I am staying out Ma, I will be coming back only by tomorrow. What will happen? Nothing will happen. But are we ready? Are our children ready? Are the parents ready to listen to that? Immediately there will be a question, what are you doing? Who asked you to go by evening? So from tomorrow onwards, you need not come home, etc., etc., etc. All sorts of scoldings. I have given you a lot of freedom, you are misusing it, this, that, etc. So naturally, even time has got bias has been realized by people during 60s and 80s. Biologically, there is a gender difference, which is essential because the society has to go forward. So essentially, woman should have a uterus, and man should have, for progeny, he should have penis and scrotum, etc., where semen will be formed, and she needs a vagina. Then only the society will go forward, because intercourse should take place and children should be born. Other than that, what is the difference? That is where our person who is Ann Oakley, who has coined the word gender, has said, I never cuckoo with my womb, I cuckoo with the hands, which a man also has got, also he can also do it. How many of us are ready to tell that? How many of us are even during COVID time? COVID time, we have conducted a study and we found that earlier the woman used to do 15 hours work and now she is doing 24 hours. Because all the household people are at home, man is at home, children are at home, old age people are at home. So everybody needs snacks every now and then. Whenever they think that they need to eat something, then munch something, they tell that Amma, prepare me some neyyapam, Mama, please prepare some snacks, get me some coffee, get me some tea. Like this, she was working for 24 hours. So I got it from, in my office, we have formulated an app for this alone, helpline app alone for this, WhatsApp for this. A number has been formed to understand whether there is any domestic violence increasing during the COVID time. We found that, around 20% more domestic violence, and women were telling that we are working for 24 hours. So what I'm trying to say is that the gender bias which they have started talking, Betty Friedan has started discussing during 60s, still continues. Still, even now we are talking about. I was ashamed rather to tell all these things, because how many years we are talking about stereotypes and bias. How long we are going to say? Even my children and my grandchildren will discuss this. I don't know when we are going to stop the stereotyping. And unless and until the society stops the stereotyping and gender bias, it is not going to stop. Whatever it is, we have to continue, because we will be going on telling till it ends. That is our duty. That's what I feel. So, what happened after 60s? I mean, during 80s, UN has declared that we should know the status of women, rather, and send an inquiry to all the countries asking for the status of women in their country. They waited for 6 months, 1 year, nothing came out, and they realized from India also nothing went out, and at last they decided that they found that there is no statistics on women. There is no statistics available in any of the countries. How many women are there? How many women are working? How many of them are employed? How many of them are, studying? How many of them are school going? How many of them are literate and illiterates? How many of them are have any disease? Things like that. Nothing was available. And UN has decided that okay, we will give you 10 years time to collect all these materials, and they have given 10 years time. That is why that is what we have. Decade of women. International Year of the Women was given during 1975, until 85. A decade has been given given to all to prepare the survey report. And within 10 years, we realized whole change has taken place in the world. In that, we found that there is gender bias everywhere. The whole society is gendered, no doubt about it. We have problem in gendering. We have problem in doing gender. We have problem in gendering our work. We have gender division of labor existing at home and also in the office, outside public place. All these things were realized, and academically there was a big role. Like, we realized that women are completely invisible from history. Social science has come out with a very flowery, findings rather. History, there was a demand to make it her story instead of history. And history, even during 85, 89, like when I was doing my research, I was just going through the newspapers and I found that very few things have been written about women in the moment. Very few. So, as far as Kerala is concerned, or as far as India is concerned, who are all our Renaissance leaders? Immediately we say Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Ambedkar, all these people. And where were women then? Why we are not talking about Anandi Bai Joshi? Why we are not talking about quite a lot of Muthulakshmi Reddy, who has formed, who stood with the government to form the Anti-Child Marriage Prohibition, Child Marriage Prohibition Act. So such things, Jyotiba Phule, so many people were not accepted or not remembered when we talk about that. And as far as India is concerned, when we talk about freedom struggle also, we talk about Gandhiji, we talk about Nehru, we talk about Tandya Topi. And we forget that there was Kamala Devi Chattopadhyaya, there was Sarojini Naidu, there was Ani Basan, and none of these people are. There was, as far as Kerala is concerned, there was A.V. Kuttumalu Amma, quite a lot of people in Kerala, and nothing has been included in our history. Sujata Patel has given a very good study on freedom struggle in Kerala and about Gandhi. And after reading her book, I went through Kamala Devi Chattopadhyaya's India's freedom struggle, and I found that during Salt Satyagraha, Dandi Yatra, Sarojini Naidu and Kamala Devi Chattopadhyaya have asked Gandhiji that they are also joining with the Dandi Yatra, and Gandhiji refused. He said that no woman can attend. We won't allow, because it is risky to take women along with. Mind the word, it is risky. Then they have sent a letter to Gandhiji telling, showing the reason about it. And towards the end of Dandi Yatra, the last point to Dandi, they joined and participated in it and said that at least for this one day, we could join the Dandi Yatra and we are also part of it. And how many history textbooks have helped this, quoted this? We found that they are invisible in history. Their language is different in literature. Following that, we have formed the women's language, Pennaditha in Malayalam. We have formed that language is different because language reflects the attitude, and language reflects your emotions. If it is going to rain, for example, if it is going to rain, what a man will think? He will think that, oh, it is quite good. I can sit in the easy chair, read whatever I have stopped reading. I can read it, coffee will come from her, and children will be busy playing, so they won't trouble me, so I can nicely sit and read or write. Or if he is not an academic and, he's not interested in reading and all that, I can nicely sleep, cover my body, I can warm myself and sleep nicely when it rains outside. It's nice. As far as children are concerned, they will think that it is nice. Raining is quite good for children. They can play in water, and they feel that they are very happy when rain comes. What a woman will think. I'm talking about an ordinary woman. Oh, rains have started. What I should do now? No, earlier we were using wood, for burning. All the wood will become cool. I won't be able to fire cook the food properly. The uniform of the children won't get dried up. So I have to find out things like that, where I will dry my clothes, if it is a flat or things like that, where I will dry my clothes, at what time I will be able to wash all the clothes and send the children to school. Things like that only she'll be thinking. So it's all the attitude and the work what you do, and your emotion towards the work that reflects in your language also. Especially the bias in the language has started from French feminists, because in France, I mean in the French language, as you have in our Hindi, kalam is female and paper kitab is male. Things like that, every object has got feminine and masculine gender. Like that in French language also, you have this problem of gender in the gender in things. So naturally, they started telling that it is highly biased, and she has got a language of her own. As we all know that Lucy Rigare was the person. Then person who has talked about language is see, women write with white ink, that is milk, not blue ink or black ink. That is told by another feminist. I forgot the name. When I remember it, I will tell you. So there was question about languages, and bias in the language also was discussed. So in the field of literature, quite a lot of studies have come out, and philosophy, psychology, mathematics, even, because even now, even after such a big roar and changes that you have conducted in Kerala, we have conducted a gender audit of the textbooks. Even afterwards, we found that the exercise in the mathematics textbook will come like this. A bangle cost 5 rupees. Radha buys 5 bangles. How much she has to pay? And a ball costs 5 rupees. Ramesh bought is how many rupee Ramesh should pay. So never Radha will buy a ball, never Ramesh will buy a bangle. So this is again a stereotyping. So we questioned out all those things. We had a gender audit of 80s, late 80s. We have started discussing about the content of the curriculum, how it should be changed, and sexism in education. Kalia has written a book, very beautiful book on sexism in education, where he has mentioned that even in medical books, till they talk about gynecology, the patient will be named as he and his. And only when it comes to gynecology, automatically the patient will become she or her. Even now that exists. Even now that exists. Because recently I asked one of the doctors to do a gender audit of the textbook. She was telling that ultimately the whole totally it should change, because even now they are teaching 1960s textbooks where you have gender bias from top to bottom. So in law books were also analyzed during 80s in India and globally. When this UN decade has been announced, law books were checked, and we found that there is gender bias in the law also, because indecent representation, you have law for everything regarding women, for showing her, indecent representation of women act against pornography. But the law has not said what is indecent, whether showing up to your knee or above your knee or your bust, your cleavage. What is becoming indecent has not been mentioned in the law. Likewise, you have loophole in each and every law for women. Even in Dowry Prohibition Act, you have loophole. You have loophole in POSH Act, like, sexual harassment in the workplace. You have quite a lot of loopholes in that POSH Act. Dowry Prohibition Act, Equal Wages Act, all these things, Domestic Violence Act, everywhere, wherever women are being discussed in law, you have loopholes, which cannot be closed. The loopholes cannot be stitched out because, it is created by male form. No woman was there when these acts were formed. So all the law are made by men, and they have done it in their attitude, which has been questioned. And we said that in the formation of law, we are also sitting along it. And secondly, I mean, in the doctors, health-wise, health, you are talking about general health, who is there to talk about reproductive health of a woman? And especially when you talk about multidisciplinary, even in the NEP, we are finding that, health is standing alone and law is standing alone. So, whereas we during COVID time, we are finding it very difficult to cope up because, as the global projections have come out, we are facing the problem like, population is increased. The projection is that, population will increase, maternal mortality will increase, child marriages will increase. We are seeing it. We are getting reports regarding that, data regarding that. Because, if you want to do MTP, you cannot go to the hospital because most of the hospitals have COVID people admitted. So doctors are also not free, and also patients are not ready to go there because they are scared that they will get infected. So naturally, they continue the pregnancy, and the population is nobody is doing it. And child marriages, because you have only marriage can be conducted only with 20 people. So naturally, the cost will be much less. In that, instead of spending 2 lakhs, you are spending only 20,000. So even if the child is only 16 or 17 in North India, especially, children are all given in marriage. So child marriages are at an increase. That also has been envisaged. And another thing is that since you cannot do MTP from the hospital, we are doing so many other methods like home methods, and that will result in the ill health of the woman and the maternal mortality. The data has not come out regarding maternal mortality, increase in maternal mortality, but they project there is a possibility. So all these things show that reproductive health has not been discussed during 80s. So that also has been questioned. That also was a woman question. Because reproductive health and how many, especially the question that was raised during 75 to 85 is that, number of laparoscopy is more than number of vasectomy. So why only women are conducting population control? That was the time the population IPPL was formed, and population was highly discussed globally. So we said that laparoscopy is more wide. So her body is very new things, new inventions were being done in the health front, like net-10 and injection. New injections were being created, and this net-10 is an and it's not a condom, but anti-pregnancy. It controls pregnancy if you implant it just below your elbow. Scratch your skin and implant this tablet, and you won't get pregnant for 2 years. So that was tried on women. How will you try? Any company, any research organization will try on poor women only, because for each head they are ready to give 500 rupees. Then all women came to make themselves, by making themselves guinea pigs. So we said that, through IPPL or through population control, we are making the whole country or the corporates are making women as guinea pigs, and we are not ready to allow that. Many of the women's organizations are questioning that, and reproductive health has to be discussed, and sex education has to be given in all the schools and colleges and adolescents. That was it. Know your body, know yourself, know one's own body, understand one's own body, know your body, and you can control your body. You can decide. The woman should decide when she should conceive. What should be the difference between age difference between the first child and the second child? Everything has to be decided by her and not by the male alone. That was a bit for 10 to 15 years that was discussed. Even in Kerala, we have discussed that. Globally, there was discussion regarding this. And health wise also we have problems like this, and also then during that time only we realized the bias in the education front, that even in medicine, women always take gynecology and pediatrician. That was based on the stereotyping in the society, whereas men, you cannot, even now you cannot find a good surgeon, you cannot find a good neurologist, you cannot find a good cardiologist among women. When you talk about pediatrician or gynecologist, immediately women will say pediatrician. She is a good gynecologist. Whereas, is there any neurologist, any urologist, any ortho person good at doing surgery, etc., etc.? So, such a gender division exists in the health front. That also was questioned. Then in history, as I said, literature, philosophy, science, even including climate change, there was question about women's participation, because when they were discussing internationally, when they were globally, they were discussing climate change. Nobody invited a woman. There was not a single woman when you discuss about environment, when you discuss about global. See, gender sensitivity is essential for doing all these things, inviting her and making her a part of it. Because gender sensitivity cannot be created, it cannot be taught. It was the time when this gender studies and women's studies, were introduced as a discipline. When women's studies were introduced also, we realized that gender cannot be taught. Gender awareness has to be come from within. Gender sensitivity should come from within. It cannot be taught like chemistry, physics, or science or mathematics. Because it's a way of life. Gender sensitivity is a way of life. Where you find gender bias everywhere. Even I'm going back to 80s and 85, 90s. We even discussed the gender bias in the film songs. In Kerala, I remember in Malayalam songs, whenever you talk about, whenever you take a song, whenever you listen to a song, it is about the beauty of a woman. When Chandralekha Apsarastri. I always used to think about that. When you see the moon, fine full moon in the sky, you just enjoy it. But why you compare it with a woman, the woman's body? So there, even if woman have started learning things, she has started going to school, she has started equivalent to whatever a man can do. She is ready to do whatever a man can do. She has reached all echelons. Even then, she is seen only as a body. To be raped, to be used, to be photographed, to be made a porno film, to be exposed, to be beaten up. So she is not a body, but she has got a brain and thought and feelings and emotions and opinions and ideas. Who is ready to accept this? Unless and until the society accepts this, gender bias will continue, no doubt about it. Gender bias and gender stereotyping will continue because from time immemorial, I always, whenever I talk to people, we are giving classes to police department and gender sensitizing police. I don't know how far it will succeed, but still we are sensitizing them.
So the first thing I tell them is that, there was a Malayalam writer called Sanjayan. Sanjayan is an older person, who used to write very funny, he uses funny languages, and, he's a critic rather. And well known for his criticism and his fun. Beautifully he used to write. So there was quite a lot of fans for him. And now I realize he was one of the topmost anti-woman person, a writer. Because, and now I just went through his writings, and I found one very, very interesting stereotypical word, like, the head of the family is sitting and reading the newspaper in the veranda, and the children are playing there. And one child came running to him and said that, father, Papa, I found two flies sitting here, and one is a male and the other is a female. And the papa asks, how do you find out that a fly is a male or a female? Then the child says, one fly was sitting in a piece of bangles, and the other was sitting in a cigarette pit. So I could realize that, one is a male and the other is. What a typical stereotyping. Even a child of 5 years is is made to think that, cigarette is for men and bangles are for women. And, even flies, other than human beings, are also being stereotyped in that way by using the example of human beings. So even such writings were questioned. Why such gender bias? So we are against stereotyping. Then, stereotyping has gone to such a level that, people like Drying Nappies at Midnight, who has written that book? Forgetting things. Drying nappies at midnight, and, that is, woman can do. They were discussing about woman's work, and, she could get time to dry the nappies only at midnight, only in the only around 12 o'clock that, she will be able to dry the nappies. Till then, she is busy with her work. Shula with Firestone. Shula with Firestone. She has said that, it is the uterus that is creating all the problem, and the biology that is creating all the problem. So it is better men conceive. Men conceive, and, we can do whatever men do. We can alter the roles, and we can do it. So, and, test tube babies were introduced. So there were suggestions only to mechanically alter the stereotyping or the bias. Whereas we socialists have suggested that, what is wrong in common kitchen in order to stop her double burden. She should become a worker, no doubt about it. She should be a social worker. In the sense, her work should be in the society for the upliftment of the society, whether she is getting an income or not. Her work should be to uplift the society. So she should become a worker, no doubt about it. Like any man or any human being, she also should become a worker. But at the same time, she should be given time for doing the social work, for which, common kitchen is the Alexandra Kollontai is the right person, is the first person to talk about common kitchen for women. She has even suggested common kitchen and common laundry for women, so that, her double burden can be avoided. So that, in the society, in the community, we have tried it during COVID time. Community kitchens we have introduced. In the tribal area in Kerala, we have tried community kitchens. When in Attapadi, we have problems with the infant death, We have introduced community kitchen because, they should get good food. So their type of food we have introduced, and, we have given that. So suggestions were coming during 80s, telling that, we should find out methods by which her household burden should be decreased. Because I'm seeing, I'm understanding. I'm also a woman. I'm understanding that by 4:30, why we take back up the bag. We are not going to go home back and start preparing for our next day class. Why we are going back home? We are going back home to wash the vessels which we have left in the morning. We are going back to put the clothes in the wash basin. Washing machine to wash the clothes. Fold the clothes which we have washed and dried in the morning. We are again, the household work is in our head. That is the priority all women are giving. We have to come out of that. That stereotyping has to be changed. That we have forcefully, consciously, we should think that, this is not my job alone. We have formulated a slogan and all. This is our house, not my house. So let us clean the house together. This is not my child. It's our child. Let us bring up the child together. Such slogans were also made when I was in KSSP, as a Society Parishad. We formed a, 5-day seminar on that. Then only we realized that, household labor is also a labor and it has got social value. It is Karl Marx who has said that, woman's cooking and bringing up child and, conceiving the child, her pregnancy, has everything has got a social labor value. We were thinking, how come? How come a woman doing cooking for her husband and children are going to be a social labor? He explained. So good. It was so good in the sense, what he says is, uh, when a woman cooks food at home, she is giving energy to the person who is working, that is her husband, a worker, and also giving energy to the forthcoming worker, that is her children, in the society. So it is a social labor. So her labor is productive, cooking is productive labor. So from then onwards, we started telling women that, don't say that, I am a housewife. We are no more using the word housewife, homemaker only we are using, because wife, a word like wife is included in housewife. So we are only using homemaker. Homes can be made by both male and female. So anybody can do it, even children. So we are only using the word homemaker. I'm telling again, after 75 to 85, we have changed very many terminology. Even now we are changing. We no more use mankind. We are using humankind. We never use manpower. We are using human power. If somebody uses manpower, immediately whoever is listening to this class should immediately react. You say that we are also power. So don't use manpower. It includes human power, includes woman's power also. So we are changing words. No more in Kerala, as far as I know, Kerala, we never use Adhyapika and bar Adhyapika alone or Adhyapakan alone, masculine gender alone. We say that, by putting a bar, we use the feminine gender also. Teacher, bar lady teacher, worker, bar lady worker, things like that we do even now in Kerala. We have started doing it. So language has changed. We have started changing the phrases. We have questioned the music in the films. We have questioned women in media. We have introduced new law for women. We have introduced new health for women. New psychology has been given. Counseling, etc., has developed in such a way that, the mental health of women were taken into consideration. Because she's undergoing quite a lot of tensions, whereas, the man, in order to avoid his tension or release his tension, what he does is drinking. He becomes an alcoholic because, he says, I have quite a lot of tension. What a woman will do if she has got tension? Will she will she become an alcoholic? Can she become? Will the society accept? Will a traditional father-in-law and mother-in-law accept when she becomes alcoholic? But what I strongly feel is that, unless and until we become, I'm not telling that alcoholism is bad for both men and women. But, women also start standing in the beverages queue, then the society will change. We realize that, equality need not be seen from there. I'm quite sure about it. I'm against alcoholism, but still, what I'm telling that she should come forward in such a way that she is also in the queue of the beverages corporation. That means there is no barrier, there is no gender bias, there is no stereotyping, there is no womanly things in the society. Everything is gendered now. We have gender in bag, we have gender in our chappals, we have gender in our watch. Now it has changed because so quite a lot of foreign watches have started coming, and wristwatches as for women it is small dial and for men it is a big dial. Now that once the Gulf watches have come, women also have started wearing big dials. So stereotyping or the bias in watches, gender in the watches have been disappeared now. But we have gender in dress, of course. Then we in WCD has started an online course, not course, but online program where we are asking certain doubts. Appu and Ammu. We have formulated two characters, Appu and Ammu. And Ammu is giving answer, whereas Appu is asking questions. Because, even for 99% of the toilet in Kerala, toilet in the world is being cleaned by women. But how to clean a toilet is being taught by Abbas. There Abbas comes and everybody is happy that he is going to show you how to clean a toilet. Whereas that means she even doesn't know how to clean a toilet. So everything is being given advised by men. So we thought that we will topple down. So what we did is we made Appu a blunderer, and Appu is asking questions and Ammu is answering. The boy is asking questions and the girl is giving answers, advice. So the first question we asked is why women are following men's dress and men are not following women's dress. We use jeans, we use shirt, we use t-shirts, whereas men are not wearing churidar, they are not wearing sari. Why is it so? Then Amu is giving answer that that I made it, so I can confidently say where I have taken it from. Veblen has written a book by name Theory of the Leisure Class, where he has given one chapter has been given for dressing alone, where he has given a detailed explanation about the need of a dress. And he says the dress is for the comfort of the person. It depends upon what work she does, he or she does, and the occupation of the person who does, and the comfort of the person to do the work. That is what our plan says. So it's quite sure that we cannot just wear a sari and go for trekking. We have to have a jeans. So Apu is asking again, so do you mean to say that whatever dress women wear are discomfortable for them to work? I said, yes, no doubt. We are taking 5 meters of sari and wrapping it around your body, and we are always aware of it that whether my cleavage is shown, whether my brassiere strap is shown through my blouse, whether my stomach is shown through my sari wearing. So you are conscious about your dress, and you are always, whenever you talk to persons, you are aware that his eyes are roaming around your body and your sari and your dressing. You can freely talk to people if you cover all your body with a churidar or a shawl, even without shawl. Cover your body, and why you bother about others' eyes? Even if you wear a sari, you need not bother about others' eyes. Even if you wear a sari, you need not be conscious about your body. If it is open, if it is shown to others, why should you bother? It is their problem. It's not your problem. It is their problem that they are peeping through the side. It is not your problem that you are covering your body. Already you have covered it. So such thoughts such attitudes should come within a man and also within a woman. So what I'm trying to say is that stereotyping and bias in dressing. So we started. I was telling about this Veblen's theory, and this online cartoon. We have made cartoons, created two characters, and it is going on now, where we are giving quite a number of questions like this. So such questions are in everybody's mind. See, no woman is given a chance to. No woman is given not a chance. Not a woman is given appreciation for whatever she is doing. Everything. If she learns driving immediately, see now in Kerala, girls and women are afraid to learn driving because putting the child in the office, in the school, and bringing them back home will become her burden again. So they say that at least that let him do. So I am not going to learn driving. Let me go and come back. Even that burden I cannot take up. So see, when we come back from the office, what all things we carry? You just look at a woman who is coming back from office. She buys vegetables for the house. She buys fish for cooking. She buys all the stationary things, everything she buys, and provision, everything she buys and comes on her way back home. So why this change? When are we going to change this? Is it your home alone? Is it your cooking alone? Are you alone cooking? Are you alone eating? Why should you cook for everybody? So everybody should join in the cooking. It is our home and we are making the home. And the home is made by all of us, not me alone. I tried this. At home, in my place, in my home, personally, I'm telling, we have all we three does the household work. I tried it. I made them do it because I put a paper after hearing the class or after understanding what is gender bias and what a woman's work is. After this workshop, I put a paper in the front of the bedroom and kept quiet. Newspaper, the full newspaper was kept in front of the bedroom door, and I kept quiet. 3 days. My son and my husband, both of them entered bedroom, came out. They went through that way several times, and nobody was ready to pick up the paper and keep it in the shelf. Third day, I said, "See, this is not my work alone. If the paper is lying the paper is lying in the floor, it is your house also. If you want, you keep it and take it and keep it in the rack. I am not going to do it." They kept it. Now that we have a proper division of labor at home, everybody has got household labor has been divided to all we three, and we do. So their attitude has changed. Their household has changed. Their attitude about housework has been changed. So that stereotyping we could break because women can do this, man can do this. Such stereotypes we could break. We have to break the stereotypes in the home front. We have to break the stereotypes in the society. We have to break the attitudes in the patriarchal society. Because, in a patriarchal society, women will be seen only as inferior. No doubt about it. Male domination will go to any length, any heights. So we have to tap them every now and then. Come down, like we have to do it. And stop the stereotyping in the teaching front, in the curriculum, in the campus, especially in the campus and in the hostels. And there, I'm sorry to tell about this, teachers, especially teachers. If I have hurt you, please, I'm sorry that I am forced to. Because we get in our gender advisory, office, we get quite a lot of complaints regarding women in the hostel. And now that in Kerala, we have changed the timing of the hostel also. In the hostel, why should you have a dress code? In the women's hostel, why should a women's hostel have a dress code? Girls are not supposed to come down to dining room with the shorts. They wrap a lungi, they wrap something and all, they wrap the blanket, everything. And you should see the dining room, they sit in every type of fancy dresses. Why should there be? Why? What is so much in your sexuality and what is so much to be hidden in the dress? What if the girl in a girls' hostel? Why should you have timing? Why there is bias in the timing of girls' hostel and boys' hostel? As I was telling about the timing at home, why should there be? What if girls also roam around at night, 9 o'clock? What will happen? Nothing will happen. You only see in Kerala only. We are not seeing that in Chennai. I'm from Chennai, and I studied from Chennai. And when I went to Chennai, I'm not seeing girls eating. I mean, watermelon or eating cakes and all and walking through. So when I went to, we used to. I used to. I used to take a, groundnut. I used to take I mean, cone ice cream. We never sit and eat cone ice cream. We always buy cone ice cream and walk around and eat it. But in Kerala, I found that there is a place. There are seats in the cone ice cream shop where you sit and without seeing anybody, you just cover your face like this and eat ice creams. How bad. And recently, when I went to Chennai, I found that some girls are walking around eating watermelon. I remembered my young days, and I went to them and asked. I found that they are talking Malayalam, and I asked them, are you from Kerala? They said, yes, I am from Kerala. Then I asked, why can't you walk around like this in Kerala? Then they said, no, 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 we are very good girls there. ഞങ്ങള് നല്ല കുട്ടികളാ. We are very goody girls. Why? Who tell that? Who decides what is good and what is bad? And who asked them to be goody in their own country? And do they think that what they do eating from outside is not goody? So we have to, teachers have to realize. Likewise, boys and girls, the gender relations in the family, gender relations in the school, gender relations in the college campus is becoming very healthy. When I was studying, I was afraid to tell somebody that I love you. Even if you feel that love has got a lot of connotations. If you like a boy, if you like a boy's presentation, if you like a boy's attitude or even his performance in the lab, immediately you go and tap him, and you can say that you did a good job. That we were afraid in my generation. We were afraid to tell to a boy or appreciate a boy because we were not supposed to talk to a boy. But now I am seeing children, girls and boys. From Madras it was different, but still from Kerala I am telling. From now I am seeing children in the. I mean, I am seeing the campuses where boys and girls sit together and yap and very close. I feel very happy seeing that because there need not be gender in the friendship. Friendship is only neutral. It should be neutral gender. It should be neutral gender. So boyfriend, girlfriend, things like that we have to stop thinking about it. So that how many teachers, sorry to say, how many teachers support this type of gender relations inside the campus? How many of them do policing? If you do, please stop this policing students. Let them be free. They know what to do and they know what they are doing and they know how to safeguard themselves. If they could not do it, if they cannot safeguard themselves, it is their fault and they are going to reap the consequences. It's not the institution, it's not the teacher, it's not the parents either. So leave them alone, give them freedom to breathe. At least give them breathing space. And improve or try to increase gender relations, healthy gender relations inside the campus, and forget about gender bias. Girls are good. The social girls are, I mean, girls who are very social in nature are bad, and quiet girls are good. Such stereotypes, let us stop thinking about that. should be girls like boys are active. Both of them are active. Both of them should be active. Both of them should not be quiet. Both of them should be creative. So we appreciate whether it is a boy or girl who is creative and who is active and who is jubilant. We have to change our attitude like that. Then only we can stop thinking, because children are molded from schools, children are molded from the colleges. Their values are created by the teachers, so we teachers have to change. So at least that much change will take place, I think, from your part, from the teachers' part. And teachers should start thinking about curriculum and the gender auditing of the textbooks at times. Teachers should start thinking about it and include in your talk, even if it is not in your curriculum, try to include day-to-day affairs and gendered things in the classroom. And for which she should be gender sensitive. So try to be gender sensitive. Keep your children, keep your students as friends, so that they can tell whatever they want, because whatever they want to disclose to you, they should not be afraid of you to and keep things to themselves, because we are now seeing and analyzing the number of suicides, under 18 suicides in Kerala. We are analyzing it. Where we are finding it that sexual abuse is one reason, scolding by parents are another reason, family is still another reason. I think it is time. Is it time?
Continue. You can.
On here?
Madam, you can continue.
Time is up?
No, madam. You can continue. You can continue, madam. You can continue, madam. You did an answer. Participants, I think you can audible to me. Anandi madam, can you hear us?
Sajana ma'am?
Yes.
He will definitely respond the questions. Those who are raised in the chat box. I
Yes,
contact
yes.
personally by phone.
Okay then. Anybody have questions? Please put all the questions in chat box. Yes. Now itself you can put the questions in chat box. Yes, madam. I can hear you. Yes.
I cannot find the chat box now. So let them ask questions.
Okay.
I cannot find the chat box.
Dear participants, you can ask directly the questions to madam. Please raise your questions. Mohammed sir, can you hear me? Mohammed sir, can you hear me?
Tell me.
Please read out the questions.
Okay.
Okay.
One question is Rajeshri K.
Madam?
Question is, ma'am, now we can see many changes in the attitude of men, especially among youngsters who manage the household
SPS
activities.
കവിത സംസാരിക്കുന്നു ആരൊക്കെയോ സംസാരിക്കുന്നൊന്നും കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല.
This is the question.
Madam, can you hear us? Madam, can you hear us? Madam, can you hear us?
At all.
Hello?
We are audible. Madam, now we are audible.
വാട്സപ്പ് കേട്ടായിരുന്നു.
Anandi madam.
Anandi madam, can you hear us?
Sajina madam.
Yes.
Now I am connecting via telephone.
Okay.
I prompt the question to madam.
Okay.
Hello madam, can you hear me? Okay, no problem, madam. I will just read out the questions. That is, put the participants in the chat box. Am I? Okay. The question is, one of the question is, wait. Question is, ma'am, now we can see many changes in the attitude of men, especially among youngsters in managing household activities. Household activities including managing children. What is your observation? Madam, please, name, open. Madam, please. No, you are not audible in WebEx. Okay. Yes, one by one. Madam, you are not audible in WebEx, madam. Please unmute your mic.
The mic is unmuted, but you need to speak from a closer distance from the device.
Hello, madam. മാഡത്തിന്റെ മൈക്കിന്റെ അടുത്ത് നിന്നിട്ടൊന്ന് പറയുന്ന വെബെക്സ് ബാക്കി എല്ലാവർക്കും കേൾക്കാം. നേരത്തെ സംസാരിച്ചതുപോലെ സംസാരിച്ചാൽ മതി. ഇപ്പം സംസാരിക്കുന്നത് എനിക്ക് ഫോണിൽ മാത്രമേ കേൾക്കുന്നുള്ളൂ, വെബെക്സിൽ കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല. ഓഫായി പോയോ? ഇല്ലല്ലോ. കവിത എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു അക്കൗണ്ട് അല്ലേ? കാണുന്നുണ്ട്, മാഡത്തെ കാണുന്നുണ്ട്. ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ മാഡത്തിന് കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ലെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ റീഡ് ഔട്ട് ചെയ്യാം.
മാഡം രണ്ട് ജെൻഡർ എന്നുള്ളതും കാണുന്നുണ്ട്, കവിത എന്നുള്ളതും കാണുന്നുണ്ട്.
കവിത എന്ന് പറയുന്ന അക്കൗണ്ടിലുള്ളത് ഇപ്പോഴും സ്റ്റിൽ
ഉണ്ട് സർ. ജെൻഡറും ഉണ്ട്, കവിതയുണ്ട്, രണ്ടും ഉണ്ട്.
മാഡം ആദ്യം ഉപയോഗിച്ച ഫോണിലൂടെ സംസാരിച്ചോളൂ. വോളിയം കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ട്.
മാഡത്തിന് ഞാൻ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഫോണിലൂടെ പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, പക്ഷെ അത് വോയിസ് ആൻസർ പറയുന്നത് വോയിസ് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. ഹലോ മാഡം, ഫോൺ കണക്ട് ചെയ്തതുകൊണ്ടാണോ നെറ്റ് കിട്ടാത്തത്? ഓക്കെ, പ്ലീസ് മാഡം ഒന്നുകൂടെ ട്രൈ ചെയ്ത് നോക്കൂ. ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു.
Madam, louder, please. Now you are visible. Now you are visible.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes,
madam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What is the question? Yeah, I am aware of it. My observation is also the same, that we Hello? Hello? Yeah.
Madam, audible. You can continue.
Yeah. My observation is that we are changing, no doubt about it. There is a change, a lot of change. What I'm trying to say is that, that change is from 1985 to the present, through which, quite a lot of discussions and quite a lot of debates have taken place in the society. As a result of it, we are changing. But only the new generation has changed. New generation who are ready to think different only have changed and started thinking, started changing. But even when new generation men are changing, how many of their parents are loving it? How many of the parents are ready or happy about the change? How many of the in-laws are allowing their children or their sons to wash their plates, serve the food for her, and give her, wet coffee? So even now, the attitude is that it is she who has to do all this work, and I am helping her. What we are telling it, we don't want anybody's help. It is his work as well. The household work is his work as well. It's not her work. So that attitude has not yet come. That's what I feel. ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ഭർത്താവിനെ ഭാര്യ സഹായിക്കാറുണ്ട്. I help my wife at home. But there was in WhatsApp I found a beautiful piece which I used to share in my class. I used to. It's a debate between, discussion between two persons, and he's telling, one person is telling, I will just come now. I'm washing the clothes. I will come just now, please see. And he says, I also used to wash the clothes and all, but never my wife used to say thanks to me. Then this man is asking, how many times you have said thanks to her when she washed your clothes, give you food, serve your food, and give all other sorts of comforts? How many times you have thanked her? So this attitude has not changed. Even now we think that because it's a patriarchal society, we think that I am helping her. That help thing should be stopped, and he should start thinking that it is my work as well, it is my home as well, it is my children as well. So it is the dress which has been used by both of us. So it is my work also. It is my work as well to wash the clothes. It is my work as well to help, do cooking, because it is my work as well to wash the dishes because both of us have eaten food. That attitude, that much has not come, but there is a change. It is a positive change, no doubt about it. I welcome that change. I'm aware of it.
Any more questions? Any other questions?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Teachers have nothing to say about the textbooks, bias in the textbooks.
Chat box. In our society, a lot of gender violence is there. How can we reduce the gender violence from each and every mind?
Gender violence can be stopped. Gender violence, when we say about gender violence, I consider it as a violence against men as well as against women. Because gender is a neutral word. It will always be using gender violence means, especially in Kerala, when we talk about gender violence, we talk about violence against women. It's not violence against women. Just as women are being undergoing violence, men are also undergoing violence. So gender violence is a general question. And of course, violence against women has to be stopped only by changing the attitude, by not seeing her as a body alone, but think as a person. I quote Marx here, Karl Marx, whom I use the methodology of Karl Marx in my research and other studies, and analyzing, where he has said that he has talked about a healthy gender relations between the spouses, man-woman relationship. What he says is that where you can find the other person or your spouse who also lives in the same society, think in the same way as I think, and having opinions just as like me, and who breathe the air of the same society in which I live, and you have a feeling of species being. He's not using the word human being, he's using the word species being. And in that species being, attitude of species being, Any problem? And in the attitude of species, in the word of species being, he's telling that, the relationship should be transparent and free association of individuals. How many of the households in our society is transparent relationship and free association of individuals? How many of us could afford? How many are there? I doubt. Because we are seeing family problem as 68% of the reason for suicide is family problem. And what about our family? Families are patriarchal. It should get abolished, and a new type of family should come up, where you have equality, where you have acceptance of the other spouse, where you have freedom to freedom of opinion, freedom of movement for everybody, coming in and going out. All sorts of freedom should be given to all the members of society, and also all the members of the family, and also free association should be there, and the relation should be transparent. Relationship or the deeds or the work that is being done, once you go out of home in the morning and comes back by night, in between, how many times you are being ridiculed, how many times you are made to think that you are a woman. All those things should be shared by evening among the family members, and they all should know what it is. And when you watch TV also, you should sit with the family and see, and give comments all the time. For example, I always used to tell as an example, there was an ad of Chamanur Jewelers, where two girls are sitting next, and the girl is nudging and telling that Vegam para, tell it fast, immediately, tell it immediately. And again this girl is keeping quiet, and again she is telling, they are sitting in a car, and the father is driving and the mother is sitting next to him, and these two girls are sitting behind, and again the girl is telling, nudging the other girl, and tell fast, tell immediately. And at last this girl is telling, Papa, for my marriage. Yes, what you want, Immediately he turns back, and as if the hurry in his tension in his face shows that whether she is going to stop the marriage or something, or that she has got an affair or something, she is going to say that. And what? Then he says, for my marriage, I want my jewelry to be taken from Chemanur. Then the father says, we are going to that place only. നമ്മൾ അങ്ങോട്ട് തന്നെയല്ലേ പോകുന്നത്. Could you find anything wrong in this? We are all seeing this ad with family, and none of us are keeping our, we are all keeping our mouth shut. None of us are commenting on this. I am seeing this as a utter nonsense, where I am connecting this with the statistics in economic and statistics, economic survey, where the decision making power of women in Kerala are poorer than other states, 3%. Because it is her marriage, the jewelry is to be taken for her, and she is going, and she has not been told where she is going. At least that minimum, that much should be told to her, communicated to her, no? Just asking her to get into the car, and she is getting into the car, and they are telling that we are going only there. Nobody could find anything wrong in it. Immediately when we see the ad, we are all sitting in the living room seeing this ad, we should immediately react. Adenda, why she has not been told? What nonsense is this? She should be told that where she is going, no? Then others will realize that, oh, there is a chance it can be seen like this also. So we should be the voice of gender sensitization at home. When we see TV together, when we talk about something like, we also have opinions regarding the newspaper news. Gender violence, we have opinion about gender violence. When the judge says, she was wearing a cloth, why did she go at the wrong time? The wrong time is only for women. There is no wrong time for men. Immediately we should react at home, when we discuss these things from the dining room, we should react, we should start the debate. Why should there be a wrong time for women? So such gender sensitization we should start from home. Then we can discuss about gender violence, because the attitude will change. Attitude of men and women will change. Men and women, I say, women are also patriarchal. I am not telling that all women are sensitive. Women are very much patriarchal because they inculcate the same patriarchy which they have learned from the society, the stereotype, the bias, everything they inculcate. So naturally, they are also patriarchal. So this patriarchal attitude should change. Then we can think about stopping the gender violence. And the moment the society or the men folk stop seeing her as a body, we can stop the gender violence.
Ma'am, should we move on to another question?
Yeah, tell me.
Another one in the chat box is, ma'am, but friendship may be sometimes misused. How can we make our children vigilant against bad
Yeah,
friends? Because bad friendship
yeah.
starts with a very nice beginning, but ends in a very complex havoc.
Yeah. See, that always, parents always used to ask this question because now I used to tell them there is no friendship in the gender. We should teach them to see people. It's my own experience, I will tell you. I was telling my son that, you should have as many girlfriends as boyfriends. And one day when he was studying he used to have a lot of girlfriends and also boyfriends. And in his, sixth standard, when he was talking to a girl, the teacher came to the class and said, Gautam Madi Panjara Dichad Madi class. You stop your flirting, come and sit in the class, the teacher says. Then, he came running, crying, and, he said, you asked me to have girlfriends, and, I had a lot of friends, and, teachers scolded me like this. There, the problem is with the teacher, not with the student, right? So, what I always used to say is, there should not be any gender in the friendship, and we should make them realize that I am not a body during your friendship. You should make them realize that, you are not a body, but a person like him. He cannot misuse, first thing. Second thing is, you can keep your hand on his shoulder and walk around in the campus, no problem in it. But when the hand stretches or hand presses on your shoulder, you should be able to realize that education we should give to our children. That education we should give, both teacher and the parent should give should give to their children, that when the hand presses on your body, you should realize that he's trying to misuse, and knowingly don't get exploited. Knowingly don't get exploited. You should give a sex education. What is man, what is woman, what is biology, what is the difference between the biology, everything we should give, our parents should give. And we should make them aware that she also has got a brain to think, like she also can think and act. If boys are taught that, there won't be any misuse. You may think that it's all in an ideal situation, but no, it's not in an ideal situation. It is possible. And also be a friend to him and her. Be a friend to him and her. Again, I am telling my experience. I have a son. He is now 24. When he was in his college days, we used to go when we travel. When we reach near women's college, he used to say, "Ah, a lot of girls are there. Chagareyana." Then I used to say that you see the left side, I will see the right side. If a good girl is seen, I will say there, look at that girl, she's so nice. I used to show to him, and we used to enjoy. Likewise, elderly persons also, if there are some elderly men, he used to tell me that, Amma, that man is quite good. He's of your age. I also used to look at him. Just looking and, sharing these things, we become friends. So in that friendship, whatever he feels, he will tell me. So he won't hide anything from me because I am a friend. So naturally, if you think bad of a girl, immediately he shares or the person shares, immediately you can correct him or her. So that friendship and that openness, that transparency should be there in the relationship. Then we have succeeded in the bringing up. Where we can stop this misuse, etc., etc. What is misuse? We should tell her what is misuse. When you should stop the friendship. How you should identify whether his relationships are good. His intention of relationship are good or bad. we should make them aware. We should make her aware of it. And, stop when the intention changes the track. That much awareness only we have to give. We need not trouble her by controlling her. Don't talk to him, don't go with him and all that. But he should be taught how to handle him if he misuses, how to safeguard herself. Because nobody is going to help you. Even if you complain to the police, it is only going to become a big hue and cry. Nothing is going to happen. Media persons will come and things will happen like that. Nothing is going to come out. So he should be able to safeguard herself, for which she should be taught minimum level of martial art, for safeguarding, how to kick a man, how to tell no to a man. You make use of your sound and voice and cry and shout aloud. Don't tell her to keep quiet. Try to give her knowledge, give her information, give her awareness to shout at the maximum. Make use of her voice, make use of her hands, make use of her teeth, make use of her nails, and trouble him in the mind level. When a lover or a person who loves you, or you love him, and if he tries to misuse your relationship, then you should make her understand what is how to understand the bad intentions and keep yourself away from it. That much knowledge only you have to give. That we have to give. Teachers should give, and also the parents should give. That's enough. There is no need of curtailing the relationship. There is no need of curtailing the moment. That will only aggravate. Because this affection or intimacy or the attraction towards the opposite sex is quite normal. Otherwise, it's quite highly physiological. All of us are elders. We all have undergone this. Nobody can say that, I never loved a person before my marriage. We all had some, fan. We were all fans of somebody. We all had a model. So that much only, and or talk to her openly. Talk to her openly and clear her doubts. And give her a path and how to evade herself from the misuse. That's enough. It's possible also.
Mohammed sir, any more questions? Mohammed sir?
No, madam, almost all the questions are covered.
Okay. I think now we will move on to now I would like to welcome Dr. Muhammad KV to propose vote of thanks.
Yeah, so one more thing.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
See, we have changed our seminar type, to
Yes.
online.
Yes, ma'am.
And why can't we stop this stereotyping also? This vote of thanks, this swagatam, somebody welcoming the person, introducing the person. The person should be allowed to introduce herself or himself.
Okay.
And there is no need of vote of thanks, because as a gender advisor and also person who is who is working for women for the last 35 years, it is my duty. And I think as a part of my life, talking to people like this. So there is no need to thank me, because it's part of my life and part of my work. So please don't thank me.
But
It will be an insult to me. It would be an insult to me.
But madam, it was a very wonderful session. We enjoyed.
Yeah,
we came to know all the dimensions of this topic. I am not thanking you, but we are very much satisfied with this talk.
Yeah,
Very
that's
much.
enough.
We are very much satisfied with the talk, because you have covered all the aspects, and you made us as to think, especially the ladies and lady teachers, and also the gents, in a way that how to teach our young ones, our family, and all. I'm not thanking, but we are really
Happy that you
really
are.
grateful to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, and also one request to you. After
madam.
listening to this, you can do justice to me.
Yes, madam.
Please,
Really.
please, in your classrooms, discuss
Yes.
about gender. Apart
Yes.
from your lessons, call the students and discuss with them if they have any problem regarding gender. Do they have any problem at home? Do they have any problem in the campus? Do they have any problem with their relationship with the boys? All these things you should discuss with the children, and you should make them feel that you are with them, you are part
Yes.
of them, so
Yes.
that they will confide everything, whatever problem they have, they will confide to you, and we can stop this suicide of girls and boys at an early age.
Definitely, madam. Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you, madam.
Hello.
You are audible. Please speak.
Okay. As per the suggestion from the resource person, Dr. Anandi Madam, we are not going to elaborate vote of thanks. Let me complete my duty within 2 or 3 minutes. I just want to acknowledge all the person, those who support and help me for organizing this webinar. The most respected chair of the today's session, Dr. Sajana Jalil, Associate Professor, Mahatma Gandhi University. Then today's guest, Dr. Anandi TK, General Advisor, Government of Kerala. Then members of the organizing committee, dear participants. A very good afternoon all. I feel so happy to share my gratitude to all for the successful completion of this webinar series. Today we are winding up with this session. Thank you for all your active participation and kind support. At the outset, let me express our sincere thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Sabu Thomas sir, for the real source. He is the real source and inspiration and support for all our academic endeavors. He is the real motivator to organize this webinar also. And we have eminent guests. We all experienced the expertise of the guest, Dr. T.K. Anandi Madam, from the bottom of the heart. We are acknowledging your effort, Madam. On the behalf of organizing committee, we are really thankful you, Madam. I am also thankful to Professor Minikuti Madam, Professor and Head of the Department, School of Pedagogical Sciences, for her leadership and continuous motivation and support throughout this program. Thank you, ma'am. Then let me express my thanks to Chair of the session, Dr. Sajina Jalil, Associate Professor, School of Pedagogical Sciences, Mahatma Gandhi University. Thank you, Madam. I also express the grateful to Dr. Ismail Tamarishiri, convener of this webinar, and Sibuji Neto, coordinator of this webinar, their coordination, organizing, leadership, and support. Then let me also express my sincere gratitude to members of the faculty and organizing committee, Professor Dr. T.V. Tulasidaran, Professor Jaya Jais, Professor Asha JV, for their wholehearted support and analysis. Moreover, the participants are the real assets and strength of this success of the webinar. We, the organizing committee, remembering with all gratitude and express our sincere thanks to all the participants on the behalf of School of Pedagogical Sciences, Mahatma Gandhi University. And the organizing committee. I express a very heartfelt gratitude to one and all. Once again, I express my thanks to all for making this webinar is a great success. Thank you all. Thank you again. Hello.
You are audible.